Okay, guys, welcome back to episode number 7 of the online coaching series. Today, I want to dig a little bit deeper into the consultation call process. So, what a consultation call is, how we structure it, why we want to do one, and actually what software do we use and what is the format of that call. So, I want to start off by just sort of pulling it back and answering the probable most frequently asked question here, which is what's the need? Why do I have to do this? And you don't have to do this, ultimately. You can talk to them on Instagram or simply operate an application form. That's fine. But to me, having a consultation call is going to open up a lot more opportunity for potentially building a better relationship and giving that client someone to invest into. But also, it gives you an opportunity to gain a better understanding of who you're potentially going to be working with and figure out whether or not you guys are a good fit together, because that is really, really important. Generally speaking, application forms just aren't as good. They are tone deaf, first of all, so you can't quite always get the best understanding of what that client actually means, or vice versa. They may not get the absolute understanding of your question. Equally, you may misinterpret or completely miss the point because, again, it's tone deaf. So you may miss the point and therefore have a skewed vision. And it's important that obviously the client and the coach share the exact vision on what that target goal is. Additionally, they're going to go into more detail on a call. It's just the way that it is. They're going to go into more detail. People are happier to go into detail verbally compared with written in most cases. So you're going to get a lot more out of that client, which helps you formulate potentially a better action plan with them. And additionally, as well, speaking from a business perspective, if you're someone who maybe is trying to really get themselves off the ground and you have to sell yourself a little bit, selling yourself through a story is much, much better, which obviously you can do on a consultation call. Whereas if you're on an application form, at best you're going to get a sales technique here or there, but it's just not going to stand up against telling a story and giving that client something to invest into. So what I want to do now is just kind of walk you through the consultation call process that I've got lined up here at Bullstrong. So the first thing that I will do is if someone's inquiring through my Instagram, I'll either send them this direct link or I'll have them head to the link in my bio, the link tree, which brings them to this page here. Now, you've probably seen this page here before on some of the previous videos, and you'll see it again for sure. I think Linktree is a fantastic tool. And obviously, they're in for the consultation call, so they will just book in here. Once they've clicked on this link, it takes them to this landing page for Calendly. Now, this isn't the actual landing page. A lot of times it will bring you to one page before this, but you can slightly modify the URL to where you kind of place in the title of what whatever they're booking in for is called, and it kind of bypasses that and takes them directly to the booking page. Now, I always recommend using Calendly because firstly, it's free. So it's obviously a very small overhead, zero overhead for potentially a tool that's going to be really, really useful for you in dragging conversion rates up. You can pay for a premium. I have premium. It's about £14 a month, I think, which really is, to me, a no-brainer because it allows you to brand the hell out of it in terms of color schemes and whatnot. Mine seems to have broken. This should be red. I'm not sure what's gone on there, but yeah, it allows you to brand the hell out of it, and it also allows you to redirect. So I've got it now to where the consultation call and application form are linked. So once someone's booked in for a call and they've gone through the process of booking, it redirects them to my application form. But anyway, to give you an example of how I use this. So they will book in here, they'll click on the date, they'll click on the time, and they'll book in a little bit of personal information, tap this, and boom, they are booked in. That will send you a text, that will send you an email, that will plug into your iPhone calendar or whatever calendar you've got linked. And it will be in your diary. So it's really, really useful. And equally on the app, it's really, really useful to use on your phone because it shows you what calls are coming up and it leaves you the number to call and it gives you the information about who you're going to be calling so that you can prepare in advance and go, oh, it's that person, I remember now, and go into that call with a full understanding of who you're working with. Now, when it comes to the actual call, I always recommend thinking in advance about what you need to know and not just jumping onto a call and having a chat. Sure, it's great to build a good relationship and have a chat with that individual, but ultimately you need to figure out what you need to find out and extract that data and information from the client. Now, admittedly, I think it's really important to have the application form as well, because that is allowing you to skip over all the intricate little bits of data that you really don't want to waste time on that call chasing for. So things like body weights and email addresses and all this sort of stuff, and anthropometrics, contact information, stuff that ultimately you don't want to waste time looking for. And that's what can be filled out in the application form. And you also explain to the client that, look, there may be a bit of crossover between what we talk about here and what I require from you in the application form. But the application form is there so that I have a written down version of what we spoke about. And in the background as well, I'll actually have a consultation call note section where I'll make notes on exactly what that client is here for. Where are they at the moment in terms of their training, their nutrition, their recovery? What supplements are they taking? Are they running any drugs? Have they competed? If not, what are their plans competition-wise? If they're not competing, what are their goals? How do they want to go about that goal? What's their schedule like? How do they want to communicate with you? What service are they going to run? How are you going to put that service together? How are you going to deliver that service? Blah, 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 blah. Get out what you need from that client. This is something you have to think about in advance, because otherwise you will just end up nattering away and not really getting anything necessarily needed out of that call. And you get off the call, you go to set them up, and you think, well, I don't really know what I'm doing, or who this client is, or what their goals are, or what their name is. And I tell you, it's not what you want. The final thing that I want to say is that with a call, remember, you're not selling yourself entirely. Sometimes you may need to sell yourself here and there if you don't believe in your service. But if you believe in your service and you're generating the results with your current clientele, you realistically don't need to talk about yourself at all. And you want to focus that call simply on the client and looking forward with that client. So don't talk about, what happened in the past. Don't badmouth other coaches that they've maybe not had great experience with. Focus on what you two are going to do together and speak to that client in terms of, this is what we're going to achieve. This is what you're going to benefit from with this service. Not, this is what I offer, this is what I do, this is who I am, this is what you're going to get, this is what you're going to benefit from, this is what you're going to receive. Speak about them and what they get, because ultimately that's what this call is about. So hopefully that's cleared up a little bit of a consultation call breakdown for you guys. Always couple this with the application form. I suggest watching both of those videos and putting those two together. And as always, if you've got any questions, let me know on the Instagram that's on the screen. And I will see you in the next one.